Hey, welcome to my world. For those who don't know me, my name is Slavomir and I'm a founder of My Life and CEO. If you didn't find your life, I can help you to find it for you, but it's going to cost you a dime if you didn't give it them so far. Cracking the codes, brothers and sisters. This planet, it is an awesome place to be. Abundance, prosperity, richness, harmony, peace, order. It has been always like that. At least in my life, when I review any uh, other than that, it was probably my action that reap the result, uh, which was not in harmony, not in order, and not totally uh, peace and abundant. But it changed. It changed like our blood in our body and our vein, because it depends from what we do every day, what we eat, what we drink, what we even avoid. Also, it is like thinking. You can absorb any information from the TV, radio, magazines, negative, and then knowingly or not, you will act upon this software upload to your conscious mind. Whatever is impressed upon your conscious mind through repetition, the latter will move the heaven and earth to bring it to pass. So you must therefore impress with the right thoughts and the right ideas, because whatever is impressed there, it will be manifest in your outer life. So therefore, the balance of physical, emotional, and spiritual, the triangle, are incredibly important. The same like experience, progress, or experience and growth and contribution. It is the same triangle. It is your experience that you actually having with your own thoughts and conversation. And remember, we create about 60, 70, 80,000 thoughts every day. Some can be a cycle of repetition without being aware of that you're doing that, because you cannot really stop your mind, your brain, to be still without thoughts. And you know it. So it is very vital for human beings to actually in the 21st century become aware of that and control our thoughts, because that is our software, and whatever is programmed there, you know it so far that by repetition you perfect it. It's like going to the gym and running and lifting weight and memorizing sentences for exam, for riding the car or writing exam or speaking exam. You will know that by repetition mixed with emotion, especially with positive mental emotion, you will increase your capacity, instead of if you use the negative emotion that you don't like to do and you're doing it, it's going to be much more harder for you. So therefore, emotional learning like a kids is actually the best, because they have this positive spirit of wanted to learn, know, and experience. And if you approach with the same attitudes, instead of listening the world and negative thoughts and fears and false beliefs from radio, media, internet, and people who's trying to scare you all the time with terror, accidents, wars, stock market, shares, um, bonds, um, and crude oil, I don't know, any goods, cargo that are in the world, and you perhaps investing the money and buying those and relying on people who giving on the internet information and actually paralyzing you with information. Don't buy the house, don't buy the shares, don't buy the Bitcoin, buy the Bitcoin, don't buy the house, buy the house. Do not invest in this, do not invest in that, invest in gold, don't invest in gold, and all that stuff keeps going all the time. We have to be able to digest what is relevant to our life and discard everything else, or just to use our processor like a Jesus. Um, if you are a religious person, you might be related to that. You will understand how he thinks 2000 years ago. For example, he wouldn't go to certain places where there was a dangerous drug addict wasn't there at the time, but alcoholics, hazard, uh, violence, prostitutes, uh, selling, stealing, robbing, all that stuff. He wouldn't go to certain places unless he was connected with the higher beings and trust with infinitive intelligence. He would go with the mission to certain places, and he would be uh, with these ideas protected, and he would execute certain plans because he knew the Father will help him to move and to do whatever he wants. So you see the contrast. um, in this world you also use your senses, and you know why you should stop drinking, smoking, going to certain places where you actually going to keep repeating certain patterns that are not beneficial for your overall emotional, physical, and spiritual being, because you're gonna do 5 steps forward, and then by going to the wrong places and put yourself into risk of losing something, drink, and get in trouble and stuff like that, you will make 5 steps forward and then 10 steps backward. So that's why it is the best for everyone, each of us, to actually emotionally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually grow. And from all those levels, we can have emotional, mental support when you understand the planet, the law governing this life are actually backing you up. So whatever you do when you go to work, you can simplify anything. Majority people in this world actually complaining and are lost and kind of blocking themselves and contradicting themselves. They want something, they want to be rich, they want to be successful, yet they don't recognize how much abundance is in the world, how much free land are in the world. They want to buy the houses, they want to buy the houses in the most expensive places where everything is crowded, instead of thinking out of the box and stop to be bound society way of thinking, because we are all individuals and you should be able to express yourself and look deeply into yourself and to understand that you are connected with higher infinitive intelligence and form of life which govern this planet. If you believe or not, the evidence is actually overwhelming. The balance, the harmony with the nature and diversity with the nature. Human beings, the only people and society, are the one who trying to conform to the certain rules and regulation. I'm not talking about the law and stuff like that, to not abide. I'm talking about certain things that they expect everybody to follow the line, stay in the queue and do what everybody else is doing, or compete, which is contradiction to the world of nature, diversity. We are diverse. We have all individual fingerprint, and we have so much land. We have so much air. We have so much trees. We have so much water. We have so much place to be able to become like, instead of keep buying those houses all the time. It's not for everyone, but it is great still to buy and rent it. But why so many people actually think in the box of limits instead of become creative and save their money and invest into, let's say, buy a truck and the land and become a farmer and create something, instead of compete where is so much dense, and when everybody is doing the same thing and nobody is actually knowing there is so much abundance with the lands and so much opportunity in the future, that we can be focused on different kind of stuff and we can develop our dream and desire. William James actually said that uh, human beings can alter their life with altering their attitudes toward, he meant toward themselves, toward the world, toward everybody else. And that's how we can bend reality and create what we want, what we desire. And what we want, what we desire, majority people actually downgrading it. They feel guilty and feel unentitled to wants and desires. Only few people doing that, and they are successful. And they also are successful because they know where they are going. And majority people do not know where they are going. They just follow the follower. And that is the wrong way to go about it. It doesn't mean you have to quit the job, stop doing what you're doing. No, you can be more smart. You can do what everybody else do not do, which means nobody is actually saving the money. Not for the sake of savings, but to be ready for investment, to be ready for move forward, because nobody does. Nobody is trained, nobody is told that at school, in a family, or even if people talks about it, they don't practice it. And that's what makes society fragile. And William James also say, the power to move the world lies within your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is one with infinitive intelligence and abundance wisdom. It is fed from the secret well, and it is called the law of life. Anything that is impressed upon your subconscious mind, the latter will move the heaven and earth to bring it to pass. You must therefore impress it with the right ideas and constructive. The reason there is so much chaos and misery in the world is that so many people do not understand the relation, the interaction between the conscious and subconscious mind. When the two are in accord, in concord, in peace, and harmoniously together, you will have health, happiness, peace, and joy. There is no sickness or discord when the two works together, conscious and subconscious, harmoniously together. synchronously and peacefully, you will achieve what you desire in the good sense, in the good way. So program yourself for success, because think of poverty brings poverty. Thinking of over disease bring the disease. Thinking poor brings poor result. And thinking the opposite is going to create that opposite result. And as the nature can be your guide, for me, for you, brothers and sisters, cracking the code all the time, make it simple. Why it is important as you wake up, go for a run, go for a thought, run, talking thoughts to yourself with simplifying simple steps every day to do and create habits and discard all the negative. When fears, false beliefs, and negative thoughts are registered into your subconscious mind, there is no other open course for the subconscious than to act on the blueprint offered it. So you must therefore impress it with the right thoughts and the right ideas. And that is keep repeating the positive and constructive thoughts. Do not allow yourself to dwell into sickness, disease, or poverty, or lack and limitation, because that's what is going to be manifested. Whatever you persist, whatever you resist will persist. So don't resist, just like you're trying to resist sugar, smoking, alcohol. Usually brings actually the result that you keep doing the same thing, the pattern of madness, doing the same thing all over again. It is by not changing, by not implementing new habits. So you must therefore implement new habits that society didn't teach you, that nobody have ever teach you. It is to program, to upload new software. And the video is long enough. Brothers and sisters, have an awesome evening until next one. And my world, improving your world. That is an idea. When we change, everything change. So stay tuned and have an awesome evening. Slavo.